Everyone, Chris, the thrift shop hustler. How's everyone doing? Happy Monday. I'm a little lost track right there a little bit. How's everyone doing? We're gonna do a what sold on eBay this week live show. Basically, what I did is I took some of the sales that I had this week, and we'll pretty much basically go over some of them. Maybe you'll learn a little bit of something or a niche that you've never looked into. A lot of the things I sell are video games, DVDs, some books and stuff like that. So I want to welcome everyone to the show. I'm going to drink some water. If you have any questions anytime during this broadcast, please leave them in the comments below. And I just want to make sure that we are live on this side. And we are live on that side. Very good. So I hope everyone had a great weekend. Monday is here. Monday is upon us. Time to start hustling even more. And pretty much Mondays for me is usually a regrouping all the sales that I had this weekend. Kind of got to, ship them, pack them up. I still got to do that. I'm a little behind. Hey, Skizix and 19th Vintage. If you're not subscribed to 19th Vintage on YouTube, do that right now. And also check out his Instagram. He was talking about being a vintage seller, someone that's been around the block, which I have also. 19th Vintage and I have so many things that are similar in our lives. It's crazy. Just ask him. Hello, Noah. How you doing? I enjoyed your video interview with the niche podcast and Mo and those guys. That was amazing. I'll leave a link below for everyone that's watching on the back end. I'll leave a link below to Noah's interview with Mo. Anyways, guys, I hope everyone's doing great. Giving some shout outs. Anytime you guys have any questions, just put some question marks and a question anytime during the chat, and I will do my best to answer your questions. Yeah, fist bump from 19th Vintage. Anyways, let's get into it. Wild Arms. This was a video game strategy guide that I purchased with a huge lot. This actually came with the DVD lot of 1,200 that I bought. I've told this story before. When I purchased the 1,200 DVDs, there was also like boxes and boxes of books that I was fortunate enough to go through and scan them all and do research on them. I spent a good 3 hours going through like literally boxes of books, and I was able to accumulate one large box of stuff that I purchased with the collection of DVDs, and this was in it. There was a bunch of odd video game strategy guides, and I want to let you guys know, strategy guides, there's some of them that are worth $100, $80, so definitely check that out. So I sold this one. This one was for $19.99. This sold media mail. This was over £1. So for those that don't know, media mail is a way to ship media. You can send books and stuff like that, and certain types of media. But do your research on that. I send a lot of my VHSs that way. So yeah, this one sold. I had this one for maybe about a month and a half. I had I want to say like 5 or 6 other strategy guides that were like in this genre of like RPG, PlayStation 1, and those all pretty much sold really quick. These were in amazing condition. I think this one was missing the poster that was in it or whatever, but I want to let you guys know that when you're at thrift shops or you're at garage sales, don't pass up these video game strategy guides, especially even Nintendo Power Magazine. Some of the older ones go for a good amount of money if you can get a box lot of them and then sell them that way. You can sell individual ones if they're in really good condition. I would definitely suggest going to your local comic book shop and buying a protector sleeves, which has a backing board on it too. Just that extra stuff when you ship stuff like this. I have backing boards and magazine sized poly bags for my books and magazines and things like that. It's just very professional. When you ship, you don't just shove this in a bubble mailer and send it off. I put it in a poly bag with a backer, sometimes in the front, and definitely do that. And I always write on the thing, do not bend photos. You know, that helps out a lot. So that's a little bit of a pro tip about that. Let's get into the next item here. We have this Minolta SRT 201. And why is that thing acting all funny? Anyways, we're going to get rid of that. That thing was acting weird. Anyway, so we have this Minolta SRT 201 camera. It's a CLC. What that means is it's a specialty camera. As you can see here, the CLC on this. If you're buying any of these old Minolta 2, I think it's okay. So it's 101, 102, 201, and 202 SRTs. Some of them have this CLC, and I keep forgetting to do the research to let you guys know. These are like a premium model, and it's like closed lens sensor or something like that. It's something like that. But anyways, if you see these without it, those are the kind of like the weaker models. But people that are collecting these, that are using cameras 35 millimeters, look out for the CLC. That is a pro tip. So I sold this one $49.99 plus $199 shipping. I think I actually took a best offer for that on a lower one. Yeah, vintage camera money is yeah, see, Noah knows. He's into cameras and stuff. Contrast light compensation meter. Yeah, one of the niches that I just started to get into. See, Noah knows his stuff. Everyone go and subscribe to Noah. I'll leave a link below to his channel. He's been hustling like watches and cameras and stuff like that. Minolta's been one of my favorite brands. I've been doing huge research on that because I've been finding in my area in Los Angeles, Minolta cameras, the old 35 millimeters are the ones that I find a lot. And, you know, I like to clean them up, and I've been doing restoration jobs on these and everything. 35 millimeter cameras, I think, are going to have a huge comeback in the future once, you know, the digital kids start to grow up and, you know, they become aware of, they're going to call it vintage photography, which is sad. That means we're getting old. But anyways, so keep a lookout for that. If you guys can find vintage cameras at garage sales and stuff like that, some of the things to look out for, and you should do your research, is there's like lens rot and stuff like that, and there's also, you want to make sure that it winds and it clicks and the timer works, and also the shutter speed. The shutter speed is going to be probably the thing that's going to be jacked up the most, as far as if something's mechanically not sound with it. Also, when you close it, sometimes light gets in, so make sure that, you know, it's when you close the back, it's sealed, and there's all the seals are still like that. But anyways, do your research. If you can pick up vintage, here's a kind of a pro tip that I've kind of learned. If it looks like this and it's heavy and it's like got a good solid like metal body, it's usually worth picking up, especially if you can get it for a cheap price. There are a ton of duds out there, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of Minolta when I can find them, because they do really well. And I want to say there's like a, I forget what it's called. I want to say it's like there's a X7 or the 700. There's another Minolta that is used a lot in college campuses and high school campuses, and those things sell for a lot. And I wish I remembered what. Maybe Noah knows. What was the Minolta one that's used a lot? It's like, it's not the X700. It's like the X7. It was the model that came out like in the 80s and stuff like that. Anyways, vintage models, vintage Minolta cameras. Take a look out for that. Let's see what we got here next. We got this bucket of Legos. What was interesting about this is this was I found this at a Goodwill. And it was $5, and I had to pick it up because I did a scan on this and it was going for like some crazy price, like $100 or whatever. So when I got home, I listed it on Amazon for merchant fulfilled. It sat. I literally seriously had this for a year, and I kept dropping the prices. So don't ever go by Amazon prices as gospel. What was nice about this was it was sealed, and it was from, I want to say it was either from like the early 2000s or the late 1999s. Actually, it says right here, duh, it was from 2002. So it had some age to it and everything, and so I picked it up, and Yeah, Noah's saying about the camera, the X700. I don't know if it's that, if it's really that one. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I would have known. I don't know if it's the X700. It might be the 70 or something like that. Anyways, so yeah, this Lego thing, I sat on this for a year. I kept dropping the prices. I had it on Amazon. Had it on eBay for like $100 at a certain point because finding this sealed is pretty hard to do. And so yeah, $5. I want to say I took a best offer for like 30 something on this, but I sold it. I got rid of it, and that was the most important thing, is to flip the money as fast as possible, even if your margins aren't super great. And let me see here. So yeah, Legos, look out for that. More Legos. I wanted to show you guys this one. I actually took a best offer for $7 on this. I didn't sell this for $11.99. This one sat for about a week. I pulled this out of, I buy large lots of Legos, and I can't tell you guys how many times I can pull like a $10 piece out of a 40-pound box of Legos, multiple times. So money, I can't tell you, like, Legos are money. If you're out there and there's people selling Legos and they're a reasonable price, buy the damn Legos, even if you don't know anything about it. Well, one thing I will tell you that's easy to tell, if they look dirty and everything. So, like, if you get a box, okay, let me give you guys some pro tips here. If you go to a garage sale and there's a box of Legos and it's all dirty and they're all yucky and everything, if there's a bunch of little figures in it, it's probably worth buying. But if you don't see any little figures in there, buying dirty ones is not gonna be a good investment. I mean, you could clean them up and sell them, but that's gonna take extra work. That's all on you. For personally, I don't do that stuff. But anyway, so basically, look for little minifigures if you're gonna buy a lot. That usually determines the price for me. So like if someone's like saying, "Oh, I want $100 for this box of Legos," and that's kind of a high price for me. I usually won't go that high. But if I saw like 50 to 100 little figures in there, especially Star Wars ones, I definitely might pick that up. There are some figures that are even worth more than $100, just the little ones, just the figures by themselves. I know there's some rare like Star Wars ones. I know there's even a few figures that are going up to the 1,000. And on that, Paisley Bradley, how you doing? I appreciate all the love and support. I appreciate you always in these chats, and I want to give you a shout out. And she says, I have hopes to find the mother lode one day. Yes. My personal, I want to find like a Jackson Pollock or an Andy Warhol painting or something like super crazy like that. That is definitely my dream when I'm hunting and looking for stuff. And another pro tip, I've said this a million times, if you guys are, if you can buy old frames for like $1 or $2 that have like really weird photos or art or whatever, buy them. Open up the backs, because you never know what's in the side of back of them. There could be old photographs, there could be old deeds to houses, a lot of vintage money. Sometimes people will hide baseball cards. I've heard people finding like original copies, the original pressings of the Declaration of Independence, and those go for, I think one went for $1 million. So check that out. I hope everyone's doing good today. I appreciate there's a lot of people in the chat. Usually my channel is not super popular, so I don't get a lot of people in the chat. So it's good to see some people in the chat. If you have any questions, please put some question marks and then ask your question, and hopefully I'll be able to help you guys out there. And we're gonna check a little quick right here. We got 10 viewers. Awesome, guys. I actually like these smaller shows because I can, it feels to me, it feels a little bit more intimate. Like I can actually do one-on-one and talk to you guys on a personal level instead of a chat, scrolling all the way through, So we want to give also a shout out to Echo Wicked. He says, "What's up, homie?" Hopefully he's still here. We got Think Tank 2. Good morning. Let's get into the next item. I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time here. We got this Samus World of Nintendo figure. You can find these at Walmart and Target. They're about $3.50. Some of them you can find on sale. Some of the more popular ones of these, what I found out is if there's some certain styles that you or figures that are popular like Zelda and stuff like that, I found for like a 350 investment, I'll buy these, and then usually like a year later is when the profits will be had because they'll be sold out. I remember selling, there was like a silver Mario or something like that that I bought. I bought like 10 of them at a Walmart because I thought they were cool, and I bought them and I put them away because I knew that some of this stuff is popular. I ended up selling those for $20 each, so that was a really good profit. And I'm not really good at retail and online arbitrage. I guess I'm better at online arbitrage, but retail arbitrage for me, and for those that don't know what retail arbitrage is, it's basically like going to a Target, buying something for cheap, and selling it for a profit. That's retail arbitrage. I'm not really good at that. I know a lot of YouTubers do that, and like I said, to each their own. To me, it's a waste of time. I do a lot of other things on the side that my time is more valuable. Plus, I have a family and all that stuff, and also I have a full-time job. I do this eBay stuff part-time. For those that don't know, I do this part-time. I do not do this full-time. If I did this full-time, it would definitely be an adventure, and you guys would definitely see a ton more videos, that's for sure. That's why I don't make too many videos or live shows or stuff like that. So anyways, definitely look into these little smaller toys as World of Nintendo's. There's some chase figures, and what that means is sometimes they, I think there was like 3 or 4 styles to a case, and sometimes they insert one special one. Take a look up for that. Anything that looks funny and everything. Yeah, I think it's Echo Wicked said, I went to Target this past weekend treasure hunting for some Hot Wheels. I came up dry, but it was fun. Thanks for the info. Now I know what to look for. Yeah, you know, I was big into Hot Wheels in the 90s, in the early 2000s. As a matter of fact, me and my brother, we want to say we were the first kind of like resellers in our area at the time when I think it was like 1995, and like it's just funny to see how there's like every time you go to Toys R Us in the morning, there's like a line of dudes now like looking for treasure hunts and looking for Johnny, what do you call it? Johnny Lightning, White Lightnings, and stuff like that. For those that don't know, White Lightnings, they're kind of like the treasure hunts for Johnny Lightning. They have usually white tires or white rims, or sometimes the interior is white. Anyways, we're getting a little off subject here, but thanks. Yeah, Hot Wheels. I made a video about Hot Wheels. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna leave a link up here on the backside of a Hot Wheels video for people that are watching this on the back end. I did a Know Your Stuff on Hot Wheels. So next up we have Kung Pao Enter the Fist. If any of you guys haven't seen this movie, it's so funny. It's literally like it reminds me of, it's pretty much like, this was way before Kung Fu Panda, and I want to say Kung Fu Panda kind of, I don't want to say they stole their idea, but they kind of probably got inspiration from this, and it's basically like a spoof Bruce Lee movie. It's hilarious. Well, anyways, it's a OOP, which means out of production. If you guys want to search real quick on what's hot in DVDs, just search DVD OOP and sort by highest price, and you guys can see like some of the crazy amounts that some vintage that definitely do, what do you call it, go for a ton of money in DVDs. I'm still going through 1,200 DVDs. I made another video yesterday about my status, so I will also leave a card up here of that video. Yeah, it's a funny video. The thing is, DVDs are still a pretty good buy, and I always say this, just do your research, scan them if you can. I have a KDC scanner, and I also have a USB scanner for my computer, and it's just a USB, and this is how I list my eBay DVDs. Let's see if I got a DVD on here. So like, you know, you just take your DVD and you just, when you're listed on eBay, you just scan the back and it'll populate the search. And then you can sort by solds and used. And then you could basically repopulate someone else's listing, and it saves you a lot of time. And just make sure that if you're doing that, that you make sure the parameters are correct. You don't want to, because I've been caught doing that when it was a brand new, and even though it said in condition very good, in the title it said brand new, and any seller, any savvy buyer, I should say, will call you on that. They will buy that stuff just for the intention of trying to get a free item or try to catch you on something like that. So be very careful with keyword titles and everything. Make sure that in your item condition, if there's any little flaws or anything, put it in there. If you look at my feedback, and I have a link to my eBay store below, you can see that a majority of the stuff is exactly like item described perfectly, well described, packing good. All that stuff is important. So I'm gonna leave. You guys have any questions? Please leave them below. We're gonna open up the floor for a couple questions. Wow, we're already here for 20 minutes. That's crazy. I really appreciate everyone showing up today. I know it's a Monday. I know your time's precious and everything, so I really appreciate the time you take to watch these videos. If you like this video, please click the like button. Subscribe to me if you haven't subscribed already, and definitely do that. Click the bell if you want to get notifications. And all that fun stuff. Oh, this is vintage, man. You're funny, dude. Stop. Anyways, guys, we're gonna be having a show here pretty soon on Margaret's channel. We're gonna talk merch. We're gonna do merch this week. We do it every Monday. I'll leave a link. I guess I'll leave a card up here too. We're gonna card it up today for Margaret's channel, or I'll link a video there or something if I can. So you guys in the chat are funny. Anyways, guys, I love you guys. Have a great week. Be safe out there. It's hot. It's summer. If you have elderly parents or people that you know, check in on them. Make sure they're okay. Don't leave your damn kids in the car. Don't leave your dogs in the car. Don't leave yourself in the car. Be safe out there. 19 Vintage, follow him today, right now. I'm glad he's doing all right. Bro, I'm glad you're doing okay. I know you got in an accident and everything's good, man. I was thinking about you this weekend. We definitely got to do a show. Me and 19 Vintage, I'm going to let it out of the bag. One day we're going to do a podcast or a show. We're going to talk about we're going to pretty much talk about collectibles and stuff like that. So hopefully down the road that show will happen, because me and that guy are so similar. I can't wait to have fun with that guy. Anyways, guys, have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.